Well, good evening, everyone. I am Ainhoa, and I'm one of the organizers of Fridays for Future. So yeah, today I'll be talking about how we set up Fridays for Future in Aberdeen, our concerns as young people, what we do as climate activists. I'll talk about a bit about the bottom-up control, and then I'll give some ideas on what you can do and some take-home messages. So I start by rewinding the story of how we set up Fridays for Future in Aberdeen. Basically, I've always been concerned about climate change ever since I was told about it in primary school. It was like since then, there was a stopwatch in the back of my mind that started running, counting every second that we were wasting not combating climate change. Thankfully, I ended up studying biology at Aberdeen Uni, where I met several people with the same concerns. And most of the lectures had made some reference to climate change. And yeah, I mean, overall, there was a lot of awareness about the issues related to climate change in the School of Biological Sciences. I even became more concerned about my actions, and I changed my habits in many ways. I somehow got involved in climate activism, which I never thought I would do, and yet here I am. However, throughout my life, I've bumped into so many people that still believe that climate change is not an issue, or that it's not really real, or that humans don't have anything to do with it. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but there was one lecturer that told me, you young people worry too much about climate change. You're not going to see it. You're not going to die from it. You can imagine my reaction. Like, I was absolutely shocked. I didn't know what to say. But yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of people still out there that don't believe that climate change is an issue and that humans have anything to do with it. However, it is an issue and our actions do matter. So I was very inspired by Greta Thunberg and her movement, Fridays for Future, and her book, No One is Too Small to Make a Difference. And so I wanted to do more, but I was like, why are there no climate activist groups in uni? So I basically gathered a group of friends and we started the Fridays for Future movement in Aberdeen Uni. And yeah, so for now we're still a very small group, but we're hoping to expand to high school students and other young people as well. So for now, we're just a group of university students who is concerned about greenhouse gas emissions and the temperature increase. We know that the CO2 emissions have increased by 47.3% and methane by 157.8% since the pre-industrial times, and temperature has already increased by 1.09 degrees. And of course, in 2019, coal, oil, and gas contributed to 80% of all human-made CO2 emissions. And we are also concerned that the oil and gas industry still plays a big role in city economy, and that there's new plans to build another oil field in the city. Of course, the loss of biodiversity and destruction of nature. If temperature rise passes 1.5 degrees, entire ecosystems in polar, coastal, and mountain regions will be forever lost. Even at 1.5 degrees of warming, from 3% to 14% of all terrestrial species will be at high risk of extinction, and further warming will make these threats to biodiversity even worse. And the vast amounts of unnecessary plastic that are produced, we know the harmful impact that plastic has in the environment, and we know how long it takes to degrade. Just one plastic bottle takes an estimated 450 years to degrade. And we know the vast amounts of waste that are produced every day, not just plastic, but also electronic waste, general waste, and food waste. In 2022, 1.3 billion tons of food waste were produced, which is about 1/3 of all global food production in that year, which is shocking. And the waste management is awful. There's really poor recycling, and most of it ends up in landfills. And 9% of plastic is actually recycled, only 9%. and of course the unsustainable agriculture sector, of which 64% of all cereals produced go to feed cattle, 13% go to produce biofuel, and only 23% are directly used by humans. This results in energy inefficiencies, deforestation, soil erosion, and biodiversity loss. And I don't know if any of you have read the last IPCC report.
It's not going down, I don't know why.
Things don't look great. We're reaching the point of no return. Biodiversity is at the brink of extinction. Land is so eroded that it's threatening food security. And the increasing temperature and the more frequent extreme climatic events are destroying our houses and are killing our people. Yet our society prioritizes making profit over saving our planet. So we have to stop looking for a new planet for the human race to keep destroying it. Instead, we have to focus on saving what we have just now and saving our beloved blue planet. So what do we do as Fridays for Future? Well, we first of all raise awareness about climate change. We provide information on social media, also in person, about climate change. We share the news and updates on the issue. We also do some outreach to schools, to assemblies, talks like I'm doing just now. And because we are university students and we're also quite busy, we don't always have the chance of organizing a protest every Friday. So we also do some challenges and events. We have challenges on social media, such as today talk about climate change to 5 people, or swap something for a more sustainable option, or donate something that you can no longer use, etc. We also host some movie nights, quizzes, games, and we provide some tips on how to live more sustainably. And of course, we also organize protests and campaigns. We actually had one just last Friday, and we organize march, sometimes with a topic as well. We support campaigns and we collaborate with other climate activist groups like Just Stop Oil or Extinction Rebellion. And we support groups fighting against social issues as well, not just climate change, because after all, we just want a better future for everyone. So yeah, we believe that small changes do make a difference. So we hope to reach out to more people. And by reaching out to more people, we hope to get more people on board on actively making a change. And we want them to lose the fear of speaking up and raising their voices, because they need to be heard. After all, it's the government and the people in power who can change the policies. However, it is us who can put pressure, fill out the bottom, and drive the demand further up the pyramid to drive policy change.
I'm going to speak for the audience. So don't turn your head and speak.
Oh, okay, sorry. It's like this. So what can you do? Well, first of all, don't be discouraged by the news. They are bad, but that doesn't mean you have to stop trying. I would suggest to talk to people about climate change. Show the evidence. Talk to people that don't believe in climate change. Try to change their minds. If you have children, educate your children. Raise them knowing about climate change, because it is an issue, and after all, it's their future which is in danger. Try changing your habits if you have not done so already, to live a bit more sustainably. There's lots of alternatives apart from just reducing water and energy consumption and recycling and all that. You can try reducing your meat and dairy intake. That's not just beneficial for the planet, it's also beneficial for your health. You can buy secondhand and repair your clothes to contribute to a circular economy and reduce food waste. You can also choose more plastic-free options, and you can reduce your carbon emissions from transport by choosing more sustainable options. You can also attend local climate assemblies We know that NESCAN has recently been hosting the community climate assemblies. For those of you who don't know NESCAN is the Northeast Scotland Climate Action Network. And they were hosting these assemblies to raise the concern for people the communities to raise their concerns about climate change, to hear about projects and initiatives going on in the communities, to raise their own ideas as well. So you can also raise your voice on social media by signing petitions or creating your own petitions. And you can join activist groups or support campaigns such as the Stop Rosebank to stop the government from building a new oil field in Aberdeen, or Save the Synthetics Park to protect the only green space that Torry has, which is essential for biodiversity and the mental health of the community. So finally, some take-home messages. Climate change is real. There's not only evidence, it is also obvious. We're reaching the point of no return. If temperature increases by 1.5 degrees, we're screwed. We need to act now if we want to secure a future, not just for ourselves, but for our children, for your children, and for future generations to come. Don't think your actions don't matter, because they do. Every action counts regardless of how big or small they are, because no one is too small to make a difference. Thank you so much.
We're going to